Alright. Hello everyone and welcome to another episode of Late Night Tips. In this week's episode, I'd like to give you 4 reasons that make the Digitakt great. Let's get right into it. I was lucky enough to get the Digitakt here in the studio for a couple of days, and let me tell you right now, it is an amazing instrument. I actually made a video more than a year ago titled, Will I Buy a Digitakt? In that video I said yes, definitely, but a year has passed and I still don't own it. Why? It is because my 2 main reasons for buying it were the tray conditions on the Samplr and the sequencer, and also overbridge. Now in 2018 we have the tray conditions on the Octatrack, and also overbridge is still not available for the Digitakt. But now, having spent a couple of days with it, I'm in love with its sound, its versatility, and the user interface. So let's go ahead and break down 4 reasons that make the Digitakt great. The first thing that is really great about the Digitakt is the screen and the user interface. They're really inspiring and hugely improved when you compare them to the analog series or the Octatrack. User interface is even better. They clearly took inspiration from overbridge, and they took what was really good about overbridge and applied that to this little screen in here. A great example of that would be the filter. You can clearly see what's going on with the filter. You can see the cutoff, you can see the resonance, and you can see how the knob movements affect the filtering. It is just so much better than looking at a digital representation of a knob like we used to do on the Octatrack or the analog series. The same applies to the envelope. It really helps you to dial in that perfect envelope shape when you have a visual representation of what's going on the screen. And not to mention little details like the delay, and the overdrive that kind of gets fuzzy. That's kind of funny. The second great thing about the Digitakt is that it sounds so good. Let's hear it. It really packs a lot of punch, and you can clearly tell that the AD converters on the Digitakt are supreme quality. It has that elusive punch and polish that I know from the mono machine, and it's something that I really love about Elektron boxes. I would risk saying that the Digitakt is punchier than the Octatrack, but I would have to do some A/B testing to really confirm that. On top of that, the built-in effects are just spectacular. Both the overdrive, the filter, and the bit reduction, they sound really punchy and great. And on top of that, it really takes effects well. So all in all, it has a ton of character and it's really easy to work with, and it's really easy to get high quality beats out of this box. Another thing that I really like, and it's a relatively new addition to the Digitakt, is the compressor. We finally have a fully functional, easy to understand compressor that simply works. When it comes to the compressor on the Octatrack, it took me quite a while to figure it out, but after some trial and error, I managed to get the hang of it. When it comes to the compressor on the analog RYTM, it remains a mystery to me. I can't really seem to figure it out, and believe me, I tried. This one in here is a huge improvement. You have your dry versus wet button in here. And then finally, one of the coolest functionalities is probably global effects. So whenever you press track and then modify a parameter, it is going to affect the entire instrument. What this means is that if we, for example, have different LFO destinations on different tracks in here, and then you manipulate the depth, it's going to add depth to those destinations. But then when you change the destination as a global effect, it's going to work across the board. Let's see. That actually sounds like amplitude modulation on the entire thing, which can give you some really interesting effects. The challenging element of using global effects on the Digitakt is that once you apply them, they're going to be retained on every single track. Let me demonstrate. For example, I have a kick drum in here with those filter settings. I'm going to go to my track 8 and I'm going to manipulate the filter. I go to track 1 and it's retained in here. So basically you're not going to hear anything. That's why there's a neat functionality in here that's called reload pattern. So for example, you can do some crazy stuff. Or even more crazy. That's clearly problematic, right? But then you go reload pattern and you're back to square one. Alright, so that's it for this episode of Late Night Tips. Let me know in the comments what your experiences are with the Digitakt. If you like this video, don't forget to leave a like. And if you're new to this channel, consider subscribing to catch more tutorials, more jams, and more opinions. Thank you very much for watching. Have a great night and take care.